If you walked into Costco this week and picked up a box of the brand new morning protein lattes or heart-healthy grain bowls, because the front of the box promised zero sugar and doctor-approved fiber, you are walking directly into a corporate marketing trap. Big Food knows that adults over 60 are actively trying to protect their muscle mass, manage fluctuating blood sugar, and keep their daily energy up. Because of that, they are flooding warehouse end caps this summer with highly engineered, ultra-processed items disguised as health food. But this is where most people get it wrong. When you turn these massive packages around and read the fine print line by line, you quickly discover that you aren't buying simple, clean nutrition to support your longevity. You are buying a complex industrial cocktail of lab-created sweeteners, synthetic texturizers, and hidden sodium loads that act like chemical sandpaper on a mature digestive tract. Now, let me be completely clear. Changing what you eat won't eliminate every ache and digestive issue overnight. You will still deal with occasional bloating or regular sluggishness from time to time. But today, we are going to look at the exact system behind 10 specific Costco grocery items hitting the shelves this month that are quietly driving chronic gut irritation. And we'll look at the practical, budget-friendly alternatives you can swap them for without spending hours cooking in the kitchen. Let's start with the Slate Mocha Latte 16-pack. This is part of a massive trend taking over the morning routine, the habit of mixing protein supplements directly into convenience coffee. It looks like the ultimate morning hack, giving you 14 grams of clean protein and your caffeine hit in a single lactose-free can. For anyone looking to save time and protect their muscles early in the day, it sounds like an incredible deal. But this is where we have to look past the front panel. To give you that rich, indulgent mocha sweetness without using real sugar, the manufacturer introduces sucralose and isosulfame potassium. You might be thinking, but my doctor specifically told me to cut back on refined sugar to protect my A1C levels. So isn't this the safer choice? And you are entirely right about the dangers of sugar spikes. But here is the catch that corporate labs don't print on the label. Peer-reviewed gastroenterology studies show that high doses of synthetic sweeteners like sucralose can significantly disrupt the balance of your gut microbiome in as little as 24 hours. It selectively kills off the beneficial bifidobacteria, the exact microbes your body relies on to break down nutrients and support your immune system. You aren't avoiding a metabolic tax, you're simply trading a blood sugar spike for a baseline of chronic intestinal irritation. But if you think that coffee is the only culprit, the next item I want to show you in the yogurt aisle is actually designed to fool even more people. It is the Nature's Garden Probiotic Yogis. This product is designed to look like health medicine. The packaging practically shouts at you, promising billions of active probiotic cultures wrapped around real fruit bites. If you are an older adult looking to maintain regularity and protect your stomach health, this looks like a delicious, doctor-approved snack. But let's apply our line-by-line verification rule and turn the pouch around. The secondary ingredients by weight aren't real fruit or cultured yogurt. They are listed as soluble corn fiber and chicory root extract, which is the industrial name for inulin. Food manufacturers love using isolated fibers because they are incredibly cheap texturizers that allow them to inflate the fiber metrics on the front of the box. But here is where things start to change. Isolated fiber does not behave like the natural matrix-bound fiber you get from a fresh apple. Because these extracts are completely stripped of their natural plant structures, they hit your lower intestines and undergo a process called hyper-rapid fermentation. Your gut bacteria consume them too fast, producing a massive volume of localized gas. If you've been eating these thinking you're supporting your regularity, only to find yourself dealing with unpredictable stomach pressure. This hidden fiber engineering is the exact reason why. That covers the snacks, but we need to talk about the most popular dinner item in your house. It's sitting right there in the deli section, and it's not as clean as you've been led to believe. I am talking about the famous COSTCO $4.99 rotisserie chicken. For decades, this has been the ultimate budget-friendly staple for U.S. seniors. It requires zero cooking energy, provides days of high-quality protein, and costs less than buying a raw whole bird. It feels like a beautiful victory for your wallet and your evening routine. But we have to ask a realistic question. How can a massive agricultural product be raised, shipped, seasoned, and fully cooked for under $5 in 2026? It's because it is a corporate loss leader that is heavily processed to maintain its display weight under the store lamps. When you read the master ingredient list kept at the deli counter, you find these chickens are injected with a specialized brining solution containing sodium phosphate, modified food starch, and carrageenan. Carrageenan is an industrial stabilizer that food labs use to chemically glue water molecules inside meat tissue so the bird doesn't dry out. However, modern clinical research consistently demonstrates that carrageenan alters the delicate mucus layer that lines the human intestinal tract. If you frequently feel an unexpected tightness, puffiness, or general digestive sluggishness after a simple meal of rotisserie chicken, your body isn't rejecting the chicken. It is reacting to the industrial plumbing fluids injected into the meat. Moving past the deli, we have to address the dairy alternative aisle, specifically a product that feels like a health upgrade but is doing the exact opposite to your gut. Kirkland's Signature Organic Oat Milk. Millions of seniors have consciously walked away from traditional dairy milk due to lactose sensitivity or a desire to lower their cholesterol, adopting oat milk as a clean, plant-based substitute for their morning cereal or tea. But this is where a major misunderstanding occurs. You cannot naturally milk an oat. To turn a dry, chalky grain into a smooth, creamy white liquid that doesn't instantly separate into a watery mess, factories must put it through intense enzymatic processing. If you look closely at the ingredients on the Kirkland carton, you will see it contains diphasic phosphate binders and added industrial rapeseed oil, commonly known as canola oil. The manufacturing process liquefies the oat starches, converting them into high concentrations of maltose, a simple sugar that can cause a sharper blood glucose spike than a slice of white bread. Furthermore, the added seed oils are emulsified into the fluid, where they can act as a catalyst for systemic inflammation, which can worsen daily joint stiffness and degrade your stomach lining over time. Now, let's go to the snack aisle for a product that targets anyone looking for a lighter, crunchier afternoon option. This is the massive bulk box of Sensible Portions veggie straws. The packaging displays beautiful, vivid images of fresh green spinach, ripe tomatoes, and whole potatoes, alongside clean labels stating no artificial preservatives or flavors. It frames itself perfectly as a completely guilt-free upgrade from a greasy potato chip. But let's look at the actual visual evidence on the back label. The primary ingredients by weight are listed as potato flour, potato starch, and corn starch. The actual spinach and tomato are introduced as highly processed, dehydrated powders at the absolute bottom of the list, used almost entirely to dye the straws green and red. If you look down at the nutrition facts panel, you will see it contains 0% vitamin A and 0% vitamin C. Every ounce of the natural nutritional integrity of those vegetables has been completely processed out of existence. What you are left with is a highly refined, high glycemic starch fried in inflammatory oils. This combination triggers a rapid blood sugar spike without providing any of the gut-supportive dietary fiber your system needs. If you find this line-by-line label verification helpful, please consider joining our independent consumer defense community. This channel accepts absolutely zero corporate sponsorships. We don't take a single dime or kickback from massive food conglomerates to push their warehouse deals. That means our only job is to protect your physical health and your fixed household budget. By subscribing to Smart Groceries Senior, you help us keep this research entirely honest. Take a moment to hit that subscribe button and let me know down in the comments. What is one grocery item you buy every single week that you want us to decode next? Moving into the bakery department, we need to talk about the twice-baked pistachio croissants. This month, COSTCO is aggressively featuring these, and they are priced perfectly for a weekend treat when the family comes to visit. However, mass-produced commercial pastries require an immense amount of chemical assistance to stay soft and uniform on a warehouse table for days. If you request the master ingredient binder at the counter, you will find these pastries are loaded with mono and diglycerides, datem, and sodium stearoyl lactylate. These are industrial dough conditioners and texturizers. Inside a mature digestive system, these emulsifiers behave exactly like a drop of mild dish soap. They break down the natural lipophilic mucus barrier that lines your intestinal tract, leaving the underlying cellular tissue vulnerable to irritation. If you find that enjoying a simple bakery treat leaves you dealing with sudden acid reflux or upper stomach pressure, you are likely feeling the effects of these industrial dough soaps processing your gut lining. From the bakery, we head straight to the open refrigeration cases for the bulk-sized deli soups. Whether it's the broccoli cheddar or the classic clam chowder, these giant twin packs promise a comforting, warm dinner that requires nothing more than a microwave. But creamy commercial soups are an absolute minefield for senior gut health. To stop the heavy dairy liquids from curdling during shipping, food labs rely on high concentrations of modified cornstarch and yeast extract, a hidden derivative used to trick your taste buds into thinking the soup is incredibly rich. More importantly, a single cup of these deli soups can contain over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. If you eat a full bowl, you are consuming your entire daily allowance of salt in less than 15 minutes. This extreme concentration of sodium draws water directly out of your intestinal tissues, causing sudden fluid retention that strains your blood pressure while completely disrupting your natural digestive regularity the next morning. If you've been relying on the freezer section for those quick premium dinners, you need to hear about the next one. Brands like Rao's Made-for-Home Entrees or Amy's Kitchen market themselves as high-end, clean comfort foods. They directly appeal to older adults who want a quick dinner without the physical exhaustion of chopping vegetables. But when you read the back label of these frozen meals, you find that premium is often just a premium price tag. To keep meats and sauces from turning into a watery texture, after weeks of deep freezing, manufacturers load them with chemical gums like guar gum, xanthan gum, and specialized thickeners. While these gums are derived from natural sources, their isolated use in ultra-processed frozen foods forms a heavy, sticky gel inside your stomach. As our natural digestive motility slows down with age, these thick industrial gums can significantly delay how fast your stomach empties. This leaves food sitting heavy for too long, directly causing painful nighttime heartburn and a feeling of sluggishness the entire next morning. Next, let's look at a daily staple that is likely sitting on your kitchen counter right now: the bulk honey wheat or multigrain bread. The packaging is always carefully designed with images of rustic grain fields and labels claiming heart healthy and made with real honey. It feels like the safest, most traditional choice you could possibly make for your morning toast. But if you read the fine print on the back of these standard commercial loaves, you will find they contain soy lecithin, calcium propionate, and often high fructose corn syrup, listed long before the actual honey. Calcium propionate is a synthetic chemical preservative designed to arrest mold growth, allowing a loaf of bread to sit in your kitchen for weeks without spoiling. While it keeps the bread usable longer, clinical trials show that chemical propionates can act as metabolic disruptors. Combined with refined soy lecithin and corn syrup, you are turning a simple traditional grain into an ultra-processed food that drives continuous, low-grade inflammation in your digestive tract and spikes your morning insulin levels. Finally, we have the snack bar aisle, a section that is heavily populated by products targeting active seniors like bulk boxes of Kind bars or Quaker Chewy granola bars. They use keywords like real nuts, gluten-free, and whole oats to create a powerful health halo that makes you feel completely safe buying them in large quantities. But when you flip these bars over, you quickly realize they are structurally closer to candy bars than true health food. To stick the nuts and oats together, manufacturers use a heavy glaze of maltodextrin, fractionated palm kernel oil, and added inulin. As we established earlier, isolated inulin fiber causes massive gas production in mature colons. When combined with fractionated oils and high glycemic maltodextrin, you get a snack that actively triggers insulin resistance while simultaneously irritating your stomach lining. You think you are fuel stacking your body for a walk, but you are actually introducing a steady stream of inflammatory binders that keep your gut in a constant state of defense. Now, I hear this all the time, and it's a very fair point. You might be thinking, if I cut out all these modern convenience items, won't my grocery bill skyrocket? Clean food always feels like an expensive luxury. And that is an incredibly realistic concern, especially when you're navigating a fixed retirement budget. But here is the truth about how this system actually works. The cleanest, safest items at Costco are often the cheapest per serving because you aren't paying for corporate food labs, complex plastic packaging, or those multi-million-dollar television marketing campaigns. You don't need to shop at high-end, expensive specialty stores to protect your body. You just need to look for the single-ingredient options that are already waiting for you in the warehouse aisles. If you want to protect your gut health without spending all your daily energy cooking over a hot stove, I want you to make 3 simple swaps on your next shopping trip. First, let's talk about breakfast. Instead of those processed protein shakes, I want you to grab the Kirkland Signature Organic Rolled Oats. Now listen, the price difference is massive. A giant bulk bag costs a tiny fraction of what you'd pay for those processed shakes per serving. The ingredient list has one item, organic rolled oats. You get natural fiber that digests slowly, protects your blood sugar, and keeps you full without that sudden uncomfortable bloating. And the best part? You don't even have to cook. Just mix them with hot water or let them sit overnight in the fridge. Second, for your snacks, swap those processed bars for the Kirkland dry roasted nut packs. If you need portable protein on the go, look for the individual nut sleeves that contain just dry roasted peanuts, almonds, and cashews. That's it. They give you clean, anti-inflammatory fats and essential minerals to support your gut lining without a single drop of artificial sweetener, palm oil, or industrial maltodextrin. And third, for your bread, please bypass those long-life commercial loaves wrapped in double plastic. Instead, look for traditional sourdough from the bakery section. You want bread made with just flour, water, yeast, and salt. The natural, slow fermentation process actually breaks down the difficult-to-digest starches before it ever hits the shelf, making it incredibly gentle on a mature digestive system. It helps prevent that heavy, inflated feeling so many of us get after a sandwich. Look, navigating a massive warehouse store like Costco can feel completely overwhelming. The food industry spends billions of dollars trying to keep our eyes locked entirely on the front of the packaging. But your long-term health is simply too valuable to be left to a corporate boardroom's profit margins. You don't have to change your entire kitchen pantry overnight. It starts with one small, intentional habit during your very next trip. Before you place a new item into your cart, just take 3 seconds to flip the container around. Read the back label line by line. If you see lab-made chemical sweeteners, isolated fibers, or industrial emulsifiers, make the conscious decision to put it back on the shelf and choose real, honest food instead. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Stay independent, protect your health, and I will see you right here in the grocery aisle.